A lot of you may feel that you cannot accomplish certain vintage styles with short, what they call Betty bangs, or a short 1950s bang. And I feel really strongly about this because I've seen even very influential stylists here on YouTube say that you don't want to cut a blunt bang because it will limit your styling options. And that really bothers me because I don't agree with that at all. I feel like that there is hardly any styles that you can't do with bangs that you can do without. Now there are some. There's going to be some height issues. You won't be able to get quite as much height right in the front with a shorter bang. And there are some things that you won't be able to accomplish with a shorter bang that you would be able to accomplish without bangs cut. But for the most part, there are very few vintage styles that you can't at least achieve a semblance of with bangs. So even though I'm growing my bangs out right now, the process that I'm going to use right now is exactly the same process that I used to get the styles that you see at the beginning of this video with very short Betty bangs. Now when I say very short, I do not mean Wanda Crybaby short. I mean a standard, about a 1/4 inch above the eyebrow vintage bang. And I choose that length because that to me is the most flattering and versatile length. But if you want to go really, really short, have like a Wanda bang, then you absolutely can. You will have a few less options, but you'll still be able to do some off the face styles. So this process will still be helpful to you as well. So right now I'm going to go ahead and show you what you need in order to blend your bangs in with the rest of your style. I like to have, first of all, you want to typically start this style from wet hair. Fresh out of the shower, towel dried hair, towel dried hair. That's going to be the best base for this type of process. But because I have just washed my hair last night, I am going to go ahead and have to re-wet my bangs. So I'm getting a spray bottle of water here. This does not have any setting lotion in it, but absolutely you can use setting lotion if you like. You can also use a gel to help keep your bangs off your face. I'm going to be using Layrite grooming spray to keep my bangs off my face. I love this as a heat base for heat settings. And you'll need a comb to help with that as well. And you'll need quite a bit of product if your bangs are short. If your bangs are really short, you will likely need a mousse, a gel, something high hold, so that when your hair is wet and you're aiming it off your face, it's going to stay put instead of kicking back down. You'll also need a brush to brush out the finished style, and you will need your setting options. I typically use a wet set, but for the purpose of today's video and for the purpose and the sake of time, I'm going to be using my Remington tight curls. These are a pageant mom's best friend. They are available on eBay for ungodly prices because of that, but they are pretty good. They get really, really hot and they no longer make them, and they are, you know, kind of a dream hot roller set for vintage styles because they are all small rollers. So anyway, and then I've also got a very small half-inch, looks like I think this is a half-inch curling iron to curl my bangs with because my bangs are still too short to hold a hot roller. So that's where we're going to get started. And I'm going to start by wetting my bangs. I'm going to get them really, really good and wet. And I'm using this grooming spray to prep my wet hair. Kind of keeping in mind where I want it parted. Okay. And now I'm going to go dry my bangs so that I can roll them. So now I have my bangs aimed off my face and dried. And you'll see already that they're blending into my hair much better, but they're still very obviously shorter than the rest of my hair. So the first step to this process is I'm going to take some bobby pins, or one bobby pin, and I'm going to keep this section back and separated from the rest of my hair. They're not completely dry, but they're dry enough for this process. Kind of twist them back a little bit. And I'm just going to pin them. All right. All right, so now I'm going to start rolling my hair. And you guys have seen me do this a million times, so enjoy the music.
Would it help you
pin curl. I'm going to do that hard set curling iron method for my bangs only. Place a double-pronged duckbill clip right there and hold that pin curl in place. I've got a couple of hard set pin curls here that I can use to blend my bangs in with the rest of my style. Or, like I said, if you've got really short bangs, then you can just keep them bobby pinned out of the way. Just curl them, keep them bobby pinned out of the way, and then that's all you have to do with your bangs. And I'm going to show you how to do both styles. So I'm going to let this roller set completely cool, and then I'll come back. Okay, so now we are back with completely cooled hair, and we can go ahead and start styling. The only thing that I really would suggest that you have right now would be I'm going to show you 3 possible options for blending bangs. So really you'll just need hairspray. I love Elnet. It stinks, but I love it. Extra strong hold. And a teasing comb or a rat comb. My Denman styling brush, which is my holy grail brush. For teasing on the third style that I'm going to do, this is the Smoothing Dry Shampoo by Tresemme. So any dry shampoo will work. I like it as a base for teasing on fine hair, but you can also use hairspray if that works better for you. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is just kind of go ahead and remove all these rollers. Okay, from this point, we're just going to brush out all of the hair together. First, I'm going to remove these clips. And I'm going to go ahead and brush all the hair out together. Really short bangs, this first part is going to be a little bit different. You are going to go ahead and curl your little short bangs that you've aimed off your face. You want to make sure you do that first and foremost. Okay, and then from that point on, what you're going to do, if you've got really short bangs, you're not going to be able to get a whole lot of height unless you cover it with the other hair. So the first thing I'm going to show you how to do is just how to do a standard off-the-face 1940s hairstyle if you have Betty bangs. Now what you would have done is you would have just pinned your hair, curled your hair with a curling iron, and pinned it, twisted it, pinned it off your face. So what you do is just secure that with a bobby pin, spray it to prevent flyaways, and you'll see that this front section is very close to something maybe worn by Jean Tierney or Rita Hayworth, where it would just have been off the face and you would have had this waterfall wave. So now what you can do if you have Betty bangs is you can take this back section here, keep all this flat, no volume, and you can pull it forward over the bobby pin, and then just start to work that wave in place so that it covers the bobby pin. And you can kind of turn the bobby pin so that the hair falls a little more freely. And then you would just spray, and you have a very standard 1940s style waterfall wave with very little volume in the crown. You probably want to brush this down a little bit so that you have a little more of an authentic look to it. You can actually sleek it out just a little bit more if you want to. Use a wax, a pomade, any kind of product that you want to further accentuate these waves and make them a little bit more standard 1940s style. This is also late 40s, early 50s, so you go with your 1940s and 50s style fashions, no problem at all. The next thing you can do, if you are doing victory rolls or if you want to do a barrel curl in the front and you've got bangs, you would use this same exact base to start it. And then what you do is take this crown section and use your comb to part off a triangle that comes forward to your bangs, but also includes a pretty good portion of your longer hair. I'm going to take this long section and mix it in with the section that you pinned. So you've kind of got a U-shaped section going here. Now I've got a bit of a cowlick right here, which is why I'm parting all of these styles on the side. But if you have, if you don't have an issue with that, you can bring it all the way over to here and use even more hair. But because I have this cowlick here, I'm just kind of working with it. If you've got really short Betty bangs, all this is going to be falling forward right now, but if you've aimed it off your hair really, so you probably will need to use some pomade for this portion. But you've got this long section, you can see how my bangs are falling forward right now. So then what you can do is you can take some dry shampoo, which I really like it as a base, like I said, for teasing. And then you just tease. And then what you're going to do is brush over just the outside and the end. You can pull it to the side. Make sure you spray it if you're going to do this. But you can see how these bangs have kind of naturally started to curl, so you can work with that. And then take the ends of the longer portion and just roll them around into a very clean little front roll. You can do it as a side curl. Okay, and this is a great base for pairing with victory rolls. You can do that triple roll effect, you can do victory rolls. Now if you're going to do victory rolls with Betty bangs and you want to aim them off your face, to me this is the best way to camouflage Betty bangs, because if you're going to try to mix them in with your victory rolls, it's going to run into a lot more problems. Your victory rolls have to be placed just so that they conically form into the smaller front rolls that are going to be necessary in your for you to do a center part or regular side parted victory roll set. So just make sure you keep that in mind if you're going to try that. It's not impossible, it can absolutely be done, but the victory rolls are have to be very, very carefully managed if you're going to try to blend short Betty bangs into an off-facing victory roll or off-the-face victory roll. Okay, so this is how you would do a standard like barrel curl type look with bangs.
Is a skeleton, your skin on